as a former boss of mine said, could read faster than I can talk, so I won't say much. Overcoming odds with grit and determination was natural for this surgeon. When leaving a relatively small town, that used to be us, in the late 1970s to attend UC Berkeley and compete with upper-class swimmers who had spent a lifetime to be ready for that moment. He broke through to be a noted national figure in the sport of swimming, went on to lead his team to 2 national championships. And then after that, to represent our nation as a swimmer. David Santos, please come on up, say a few words.
Come on!
Wow, thank you very much. That was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much to the Chico Sports Hall of Fame Committee. It's truly an honor to be here. Can you all hear me? And I want to thank all of my support in the 2 front tables there. I appreciate it. I really appreciate your acknowledgement, and congratulations to my fellow Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations to Ross Land. Interestingly, my 2 younger brothers, PJ and Rock, played for Ross's father, Jim Land, for the Chico High basketball team. And at that time, Ross was a young water boy on the basketball team, and many don't know this about Ross, but he was a really good water boy player. Water boy. He did such a fine job that year. My brother's team went on to North Section Championships finals and almost won. But of course, it was Ross did even better when it was his turn, as he led the Chico High basketball team to 2 North Section Championship victories. So congratulations to Ross Land. And congratulations to Pat Gillick. The accomplishments of winning 3 World Series titles is a truly an outstanding feat. I remember his father provided wonderful community service to the Chico area. My father and I ate many Sheriff Larry Gillick's awesome pancake breakfasts provided at the local Pop Warner football games. I love the pancakes and love the sausage. I also want to thank sincerely to my coaches and fellow peers who have made the journey through sports and through life so inspirational and meaningful. And some of them are here today, and I appreciate it. Coach Gino Aiello, raise your hand. There he is. My first basketball coach at Notre Dame. And Coach Ken Piercy, Rick Sharp, and Ernie McGlisco, Nord Thornton, and Jill Simmons, Jimmy Johnson, Todd Lincoln, Per Arbson, Peter Rocca, and others. Now, please give me a brief 5 minutes of your time and your attention. I think it becomes very important at a time like this to touch on the real meaning of celebrating sports, sports awards and Hall of Fame inductions and athletic accomplishments, particularly here in Chico. First, I really appreciate the Chico community and the joy this community has brought to me during my younger years. Some of the greatest times ever were participating in sports, in basketball and in football and in swimming. My mother, my grandmother, my father, my aunts, my uncles, my siblings all were born in this wonderful community. I take tremendous pride in the community and the sports heritage. Last year, my mother was inducted into the Chico Aquajets Hall of Fame, and generally for her service over the years to the Chico swim community. And and a huge shout out to my brother PJ, who's presently working on a wonderful potential new sports complex and is donating his time free of charge for the greater good of the Chico community and Chico sports community. But importantly for me, there's a heck of a lot more to the spirit as to why we celebrate here today. More than simply celebrating athletic accomplishments and successes of World Series and NC2A championships, which are awesome, no question. Winning NC2A championships were phenomenal and surreal. But as a career surgeon, you see sports, and particularly swimming for me, has been a vehicle, a catalyst, a guardian angel for me in my life. There's no better means to achieve your Carpe Diem for your life than through the lessons inherent in deliberate, focused, athletic endeavor. And what I sincerely mean to say, and I think this is appropriate, is that sports is a metaphor for life. I submit to the athletes that are here tonight, is this not true for you? Are the lessons you learn in sports not critical for your life? The legendary basketball coach John Wooden once said, just try to be the best you can be, never cease trying to be the best you can be, that's in your power. And he also said, the most important thing in the world is family and love. Some of the most closest relationships I've come to know are through the sports of swimming. And if you were to check my Facebook account, you'd find that I have far more Facebook swimming friends than doctor-related friends. So, some of the greatest lessons in my life, the development of character, of control of emotions, the honing of goal focus, have come through the lessons gained through sports. Again, I very much appreciate the acknowledgement today, but as we celebrate these awards inductions today, we must celebrate an even more significant achievement of the simultaneous development of some of the greatest parts of the human spirit and character. And if you don't believe me, just look at some of the past Sports Hall of Fame members. Many of them I've come to know well. Some of the greatest human characteristics manifest through sports endeavors. And I think back decades ago, my football teammate, Vance McHenry, who was a Hall of Fame member in 1998, he was somebody who I looked up to. He never gave up, never quit, despite the fact we had a very losing football team. And we just mentioned George Medeiros, his son Matt Medeiros, 2000 Hall of Fame. I directly observed profound dedication. He spent hours in the Chico State gym, like Ross Land, perfecting shot after shot, to one day manifest his perfection in shooting. My Olympian brother, Rock Santos, 2007, has more charisma and passion than anyone that you'll ever meet. And when it comes to Jill Simmons Hernandez, 2008 Hall of Famer, is simply a different level of focus and dedication that manifests still today with her dedication to family and to swimming. I've personally seen the lifelong commitment and dedication to the love of sport, coaching, and competitive spirit from the likes of past Hall of Fame members such as Pete Hovland, 2009, Denny Varley, 2001, Ken Piercy, my former basketball coach, and Ernie Lulisco. These Chico Hall of Fame members, in my experience, were shaped by their sport, and those around them benefited significantly. And the epitome of an example of a Hall of Fame member, as we just heard, in terms of sports and life, wonderful intermix. God bless Skipper McDonald, who's a 1979 Hall of Fame member who passed away last week. No one was dedicated more to the love of the game, of sports, of the students, players, and family. A brief story with Skip McDonald was in a simple gym class years ago, my sophomore year at Chico High. He led the annual school exercise testing. He'd gotten wind somehow that I wanted to break the sit-up record. One by one, classmates did their testing, 100 or 200 sit-ups, and then left, until it was just me and Skip McDonald alone in the gym, doing sit-up after sit-up, sweating. We both had to miss our next class because we were going over late. He didn't care. He stayed with me for as long as it took. He could see the importance of the moment, and he responded and encouraged. It's great to be the athlete, but at the same time, the greatest thing is to be the gym teacher who cares and loves the students, players so deeply, he'll miss the next class. And he knew it meant a lot to me at this time. His support made a difference. Skipper McDonald spent his lifetime doing the same thing over and over, which manifested in raising the self-esteem of younger boys and girls through the vehicle of the sports endeavor. I believe that sports is a metaphor for life. I do believe that the greatest things we achieve are not the swim records or NCAA championships, but the love of people and life that sports ultimately facilitates. So one last story. It was the University of California, San Francisco Medical Center. 27 years ago, I was a surgical resident in the operating room at 2 in the morning. I had been a surgeon for less than a year, and I was left with a simple surgical operation, which meant that there were no senior residents at this time or surgical staff to supervise. But during this particular surgery, true story, my patient started to bleed profusely to the point that my life started to flash in front of me. And I said to myself, oh my God, will I ever get out of this? I was destined for a very, very short surgical career. But simply put, the courage harnessed from years of swimming competition provided me the means to control my emotions and rise to the task, fix the problem, and keep the surgical patient safe. Over the last many years, there have been many examples of this similarly. Like Skip McDonald's sports endeavors have helped both of us, I think, provide a career where people are significantly impacted. Of all the people in this room, all of the people in this room may not become, all the athletes in this room may not become MVP quarterbacks for the Green Bay Packers or Super Bowl champions, but then again, maybe we can in just a different yet significant way, particularly for those of us who dedicate ourselves to our sport and listen to the lessons therein. Maybe there's real no difference between you and I and our beloved Aaron Rodgers. Again, it is an honor to be here. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Nice job, David.
Well, thanks to David, I can cut my introduction of Ross Lambs really short.
Attaboy, Dave.
What did he say?
What does it take to perform at such an outstanding level in a Division I basketball team in a, quote, minor conference? To reach a national tournament? Well, truly outstanding performance, time after time after time again. Ross Land demonstrated that from a very young age, influenced at